man. And it's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment. These guys came from Woods of Delaware. Where was you from?
Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's
Listen, man, it's your boy D-Hat, man. Fire Nice Podcast.
Let me see him. Let me see him.
Yo.
Yizzo.
We echoing, no? Well, listen, you're now rocking with the best Fright Night, the best night of the week. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're vibing with us, man. It's the live legends, the One Take Titans. Welcome to the Fire Nice Experience, man. A Black's perspective journey into sports, politics, current events, entertainment. Let's go, man. Walk with us. Walk with us. Boy, Coach, man, I present to you the world greatest, often imitated, never duplicated. Be Fire Nice. Fresh, how you feeling today, bro?
Feeling all right, man. I ain't complaining, man.
No complaints?
Man, it's Sunday. We had some hell of a games go off today. The NCAA on both sides, the men and women, it was very lovely.
Absolutely.
Very exciting. We had some upsets today, man. I guess we'll talk about that a little later.
Or maybe we won't.
Or maybe we won't. Or maybe we won't.
Or maybe we won't, bro.
Still early. Still early on that. We're still early on
Hey, man,
that.
listen, it just happened, man. You got to chill, bro. You got to chill.
That wound's still fresh.
Yeah, you got to chill. You got to chill. We got full ledger today, man. A little of this, a little of that. We appreciate anybody watching, man. We appreciate y'all checking us out, man. We're making fun for y'all for a little bit, then we get out of here, you know. Spring break going on right now, you know. Kids driving you crazy, man. If anybody kids driving them crazy. Nah, I say that because you know I'm used to being home by myself working, and it's a lot of traffic right now.
Hey, what the man?
Yo.
Bro.
The amount of pots and pans and music going on, and God, it's insane. Paradise Lost, man. Spring break for a parent ain't all that cool.
Well, you get your liberties and your boundaries infringed upon. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, this is the time of day I usually could walk down here and then have, you know, a certain population of maybe 4 or 5 when it used to be like 1. You know, it's like, oh man, now I got to split this juice. You know what I'm saying? This juice used to be my 1 o'clock thing.
It's just tomfoolery right now, man.
On that one, man. I don't know what to tell you on that one, man. At a certain point, you're gonna have to either move around or move with. But it's only for a couple days, bro. So don't even sweat it. Don't even sweat it. It's only for a couple days, man. It's only for a couple days.
Yeah, listen, I can't come soon enough, man. Like, you know, it's okay, man, when I'm off work, but while I'm at work, man, it's ridiculously distracting. I'm telling you. I'm used to crickets, you know, just nothing. But it's cool. It's all good, you know. But listen, man, what's got you on fire today?
Ah, man, you know what's got me on fire, man? It's a light one, but it's kind of my fault, man. You know, today is a holiday for a lot of people, but today was definitely a day that back in the days that I used to remember that a lot of people used to put on a lot of their best fashions, or as they would say, their Sunday's best, because today was a special day in a lot of people's community that I know and was close to, and you know, for different reasons. But today I've missed out on a lot of the Sunday's best, man. I was doing my best to do some scrolling and see what people had on. But today, for those who celebrate, Happy Easter. Um, Today is also a day that you will see a lot of fly fabrics being worn. You feel what I'm saying? You know, you like, man, for Easter, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna pull out my form with the fat lace, with the lead crease. I got the button down, but I got the Coca-Cola sweater over top of it. Yo, that's what I'm saying. You used to see that back in the days, and I just didn't see a lot of that. Not saying it wasn't happening. I'm just saying I'm kind of mad that I didn't see it. I was scrolling. I didn't venture out nowhere far, man, but that's kind of, something that I look forward to seeing, was seeing people come out, looking fly, suited and booted on Easter Sunday. You have on your Sunday's best. That was something I look forward to seeing. And maybe I was just in the wrong place and looking under the wrong rocks to see it. Let me ask you, brother, did you happen to see, a lot of Sunday's best and fly fabrics being worn today?
I can dig it, man. But yeah, happy Easter for those that celebrate that. Some don't. If that's not your thing.
Did you happen to see?
You know what? I wasn't even looking, to be honest with you. I wasn't even looking.
That's something I look forward to seeing. People looking very nice, very fly, very debonair. I like to see people looking like that on Easter Sundays. I do like to see that.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking. I wasn't paying attention, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Man, you wasn't paying attention?
I wasn't. I honestly wasn't, man. I wasn't paying attention.
All right.
I wasn't. But listen, I'm going to regale you with some useless knowledge here, right? It's time for some useless factoids, knowledge that have come up as, interesting fodder for people when they, amongst friends, you can pull some of these out. Just say, Coach told me. Did you know caffeine is more addictive than marijuana?
Did I know that? Nah. Did I feel it? Yeah. Right. Yeah, I felt that. I felt that.
Mr. Potato Head was the first toy advertised on TV in 1952.
I didn't know that. I would have thought that a train set or something, a Lionel train set. G.I. Joe, something. Wow. Mr. Potato Head?
Mr. Potato Head, bro.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Well, this is an odd one. About 30,000 Americans are injured by toilets every year.
Hold on, man.
When you repeat that one? About 30,000 Americans are injured by toilets every year.
You reminded me of an episode of the Cleveland Show, man, where they was having to put seat belts and harnesses on toilets because they was falling off, man, and actually go to, I want to say, Hank Hill, and maybe
what's the episode of
Family Guy, I want to say, or
not Family
American
Guy.
Dad. Who is it, man? That's what I'm saying. It's South Park.
South Park. There we go. South Park.
Yo, man, what's up with people on the toilet, man? I mean,
I'm literally trying to figure out how you get injured on the toilet, but I digress.
Ludicrous.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Right though. Right though, brother.
Hey, man, they don't all make sense, but okay. This is an interesting one, and this will probably throw you for a loop. Minnesota has 90,000 miles of shoreline. More than California, Florida, and Hawaii combined.
I don't know though, but because they are the land of 1,000 lakes, So they would have a lot of shoreline around their
There
lake.
you go. See, you thinking, you smart, you thinking.
Hey man, this
When
brain,
you really think about it, though,
this brain good for something every now and then.
So how about this one, man? Every second, roughly 4 babies are born and 2 people die. Every second.
Roughly. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good thing for humanity. Great for us.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let's see here. This is kind of funny. 20% more antacids are sold the day after the Super Bowl than any other day.
I can believe that. I can believe it's been a lot of broken hearts, a lot of upset stomachs, a lot of acid reflux, a lot of that. Especially, I can see some people who was getting uncalled or unwanted calls from their bookies or from their credit card or banking institutions about monies that was placed forth with the tagline of Mahomes for the win. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
yeah, I can see some asses being bought when those things don't come to fruition.
And to close out for the day, the first product to have a barcode was Wrigley's gum. Wrigley's gum.
Yo, I mean, just a sidebar. Now, I heard the Wrigley's family was mad racist.
Really?
Yeah, they was mad racist.
That doesn't shock me, that a big corporation that's that old very well may be racist. That doesn't really,
Yeah,
whatever.
Surprise anybody around this world.
But listen, you watch anything new this past week? Anything, any streaming, any movies, TV show, docuseries, documentaries? You watch anything new?
Yeah, man. I have been turned on to a show called Queen Charlotte. Usually, this is a show that
What is that on? What is that on?
So on Netflix.
Netflix, okay.
It's a show that I usually don't entertain at all. It's I want to say I know it's a European. I want to say English show with accents and the like.
Hey, bro.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
Look, governor. A lot of that. But it caught me because there was a lot of black people in it, and the black people kind of running stuff because the black lady is the queen, hence Queen Charlotte, and it takes you all through that. And I was like, ooh, that was pretty nice. So I'm probably about 3 or 4 episodes in.
What's the premise?
The premise is, I want to say a lot of it is autobiographical. It's about King George and having his queen. It was Queen Charlotte. She actually was black. The things that it did socially for black people in England around that time. It actually shows how important the lineage is as opposed to the actual people in the positions. They're very up on heirs and the lineage of the throne as opposed to the actual well-being of the people in these positions, kings and queens and princes and princesses. Is very interesting, and it came to a part where some black people wanted, a prominent black person that died, and all the other black people just wanted to know some things about how the highest black person in the land felt. So I was like, wow, like I said, I usually don't watch shows like that. They usually just throw me off a little bit. It caught me, it stuck, and I'm watching a show on Netflix called Queen Charlotte.
Cool.
Shout out to my wife. She turned me on to it.
I got my my fix, man. I was waiting for a movie to come out for a while, and I got it. Watch Kong vs. Godzilla. Love that kind of shit.
Ooh, hold on. Asphalt City from our good brother Dean Williams, and he
Asphalt
also
City.
said the Good Sister Shirley Chisholm movie.
Oh, that's out? Okay.
Yes, it's out.
I gotta make it a point to watch that. I gotta watch that.
But I voted for Shirley Chisholm. Yeah, everybody peeped that. That was a damn good lady for us blacks.
Reagan is the president that voted for Shirley Chisholm. Classic Biz line. So yeah, I watched Kong and Godzilla this weekend, man. We took my grandson and we sat in there, the movie crew. You know, we got busy. A bunch of monsters beating each other up, you know, big budget type shit, you know. Listen, everything don't have to have an intricate plot line. Just
right. Sometimes
give me some, yeah, just
bing bongs of it.
Yeah. This is like it's the equivalent of the Fast and Furious for, you know, monster movies. It's just it's not much to the Fast and Furious, man. It's just cars and stunts and cars doing stunts and explosions and, you know, monster flick, man. Just fighting, you know. It's a spectacle.
Right.
I got out of it what I intended to. It was big fun. So yeah. Cool movie.
So Godzilla and King Kong teamed up this time.
They teamed up in the last flick too. But what it is you know how Marvel has woven multiple movies in together and they got a cinematic universe. Well, this is a monster verse, sort of the same premise, because they've weaved in, you know, a lot of movies together, like Kong Skull Island, the Godzilla movie from about I think maybe 6 years ago, 6-7 years ago, and it was another couple movies that they weaved in there, and yeah. So what happens is, I mean, they're inevitably they're going to clash. They fought in the movie, but there's a plot behind them fighting. And what has happened is the movies are really about the rise of of all of the Titans, so to speak. Okay. Godzilla's a Titan, King Kong's a Titan. So they've linked all of these movies together, and now you have them in movies together, you know, fighting other threats. So it's cool.
That's cool beans, man.
It's pretty cool.
You kind of gotta, man. Look, these is the days, man. Start hawking up and get, you know, huddling up and pulling in your resources to beat these big bosses and big animals and monsters. You're gonna have to go get you a Godzilla and a King Kong to fight off some of these new villains and monsters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gonna need,
now, mind you, they're not friends, you know. There's a mutual respect there, right. And at some point, you know, they're going to clash in maybe a movie, and another movie coming. Because they've had a couple of fights in these movies, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I liked it. That's just my 2 cents. I liked it. Not very much to report on. It's just a movie with big monsters and they fight. It's a Royal Rumble, and you know.
All right.
It's not much. Listen, man. Hey. Sometimes it's just a glass of water, man. Just, you know, nothing intricate to it. It's just a glass of water. Right. You feel me?
Right.
So, I am caught up on All the King's Men, All the Queen's Men.
Okay.
With what's her name? Eva the Diva. This is
Eva Marseille.
Yeah, Eva Marcel. There you go.
Yo, you know something, man. I watched that. I have watched that, but it seemed like soon as they go to like the end of their season, I've lost it in all of the universe.
Bro, she is so unnecessarily gangster. It's ridiculous. Like, there's nothing cool about her. It's like what outlandish, like what outlandish situation we could cook up to keep pushing her gangster even further and further. That's literally all it is. Like, because the character herself is like very one-dimensional. There's no depth to the character at all. It's just, let's just keep putting her in these situations where she just keep doing more outlandish shit. Like, she's driving cars through people's yards and killing people in pools in broad daylight, and always is able to wipe all of the footage from everybody's ring cams.
Yeah, you know, I don't play these games with people like, man, you are the most gangster of I think you decapitated someone, you know what I'm saying? Like,
bro, she's got a guillotine like in the basement of this club.
Yo. Hey, nobody said nothing. Man, you are tough.
It is the most outlandish attempt to make somebody cold-blooded that I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's almost like, well, you know, I want to make a legendary character along the lines of you know, like Ghost or something. But you know, Ghost is cool. She's not cool at all. Like she's like, I don't know, man. But I just watch it for shits and giggles.
She goes hard.
Oh, she go hard. Shit. It's unnecessary. It's just gangster for gangster's sake.
But that's something, man. When I watched it, man, I thought it was nice that, you know, to have somebody, a woman, doing that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You usually see dudes doing that kind of stuff. I said, I'm cool with that. I mean, it's all Hollywood, or, you know. So even I'm glad you're doing all this outlandish shit. I'm glad you're doing it. I was glad to see it. Yeah, but she does push that line. I mean, she crossed that line.
Oh, habitually, just
man, them lines is crossed. Shout out to D Phrase, man. Shout out to D Phrase. And before we go any further, man, you know, I want to stop right here, man. And we had someone in our that meant a lot to a lot of people, man, just passed. Just recently, man, Stephanie Crawley, man, you know, from around the way, man. I want to give the Crawley family my condolences, man. She meant a lot to a lot of people in this area. She was just laid to rest, man. I just wanted to give her condolences, her family, my condolences, and all the people that, you know, Fire and Iceland. I know it meant a lot she meant a lot to a lot of people that we're connected to. So before we go any further, I just wanted to give a moment of silence for Steph Crawley.
absolutely, man. Rest in peace. So, I'm pretty sure you've been watching the news. Let's jump right into it, shall we? Puffy, what is going on, bro? What in Sam Hill is going on, man?
Hey, yo.
The diddler had been diddling too much.
He might as well be the bump diddly.
The diddler, man. Listen, it's hilarious that. Did you see the clip with him and Mike Tyson on the couch? I don't remember that when it happened, but in light of what's going on now, the clip is it's like
so many things fly past you.
Yeah, in real time, you're not even getting it, but but when you lay all of those things out side by, like, okay, just like we analyzed the Kendrick thing and all of that, like. Mm-hmm. On its own, a lot of those little things don't really mean much. But when you pack that lunch and you put it all together, and you're like, "Well, damn, man, it's been going on for a long time."
It's a lot there.
It's just like I remember watching the Bill Cosby thing. Right? Let's have a conversation about Bill Cosby. Have you ever seen that?
Some of it.
That is, man. There were so many breadcrumbs that if you're just walking by and you see a breadcrumb all by itself, it's insignificant. It means nothing. But when you put the breadcrumbs all together, you say, "Hey, whoa, that's a breadcrumb trick."
That's a loaf. Yeah, that's a loaf.
And we have here classic. When you bring back a lot of these things and you lay them side by side, you like. Well, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Mike literally grabbed this man's hand, put his hand back where it was supposed to be, and like moved over on the.
Yo, Dog E. I happen to see a clip where Diddy is sitting on, I don't know, some outside structure next to Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne says everything but don't hang with Diddy personally by name. In this whole interview right here, while this man is sitting by her.
And that's sitting right there.
And I'm trying to tell you, in real time, real life, man, they just playing or you just overlooking it. But when you hear what you just said, when you hear what I just said, when you see Mike Tyson, when you see him sitting there talking to Lil Wayne, he's talking about, man, you don't go hang with nobody like that, man. You can't go to them parties. And then you see other people like man, it'll come to me. But you see other people like, oh, you know what? There's a pattern forming here, or a huge pattern.
It's a behavior.
Patterns make behaviors. Patterns are behaviors.
Yeah, that producers directors couch is real, bro. It is real.
What are we saying is AI? What are we saying is good brother phrase? What are we saying is AI?
Well,
what are we saying is AI? Oh, the Lil Wayne interview was AI. Okay,
it could. I wouldn't put it past.
I would not put that.
Yeah,
past, you know what I'm saying?
That AI is tricky, man. Yeah. That AI is tricky.
I was thinking about the interview when it was him. I want to say Fabulous.
Him, Fab, and Kiss.
Yeah, and he's like,
when he talking about
come party with
yeah. Nah, Daddy.
Not like how I part.
Not like how I part. Whoa, bro.
While we right here, man. While we're right here, man, this is serious, man.
He makes people uncomfortable.
I want to think about a person that he may have made feel comfortable enough for them to wear matching sets. What are we thinking about the good brother from Philly, man? They was twinning. Meek Mill wearing like the same.
Oh, well, according to, if you subscribe to that thing, that's like a public humiliation ritual. Kind of like one of their initiation things. But yeah, he who did he say, man, let me take you shopping or something like that? Like, who he said that? Was that Fab too? He trying to get Fab, man.
Well, I know he tried to get 50.
50 is trolling the hell. He's having a ball with
50
this.
50 been serious for you. He was like, yo, man, ew. He was like, 50 was like, yo, Playboy, I'll take you shopping. He was like, man, you don't take me shopping. I'll take girls shopping. You take your lady shopping. And then fast forward, I'm assuming you took Meek shopping. Like, yo, Playboy, I like this on you, man. You see how I'm wearing it? You see how I'm wearing it? I'm saying, I think you will be slim.
What kind of shopping is that, though? Would he dressing you up like a lady, though? Like his lady. He's dressing you up like his lady.
It's me and my wife couldn't get the same sweat hood. She was like, nah, we ain't twinning. And we been married 22 years. She was like, we ain't twinning like that. We couldn't get the same color. I was like, we ain't gonna wear them the same day, So she's like, nah, we ain't twinning.
He said then they took the picture together. He's showing your girl off.
Yo, these are things, man. It's like I can't look past. I just can't. Okay, yeah. Hold on, man. How many grown people have you been twinning with? That means something. I don't know what it means, but it means there's a different level of commitment with this person right here.
I'm saying
if we're gonna agree to, yes, we're gonna wear the same pants, same shoes, same shirt.
This ain't even a rap video.
The occasion just like, nah, we just wearing
the same thing.
We just can't go. I just don't want to gloss past that as that is not coincidence. But I want to ask, what should we put on that?
I'm never gonna call you and say let's wear the same thing. Now, even if we listen, right? Even if we wore like the same like Fire Nice hoodie on, it has to be on air because there's context behind it. It's almost like a uniform. This is like just you just y'all both got on a white polo and shorts and Balenciagas. It's just y'all out having dinner and shit. That's a date. It's a date.
Hey, oh man,
That's a date.
Think about the mechanics of dressing like another dude who bought you something and thought this would look nice on you. Think about the mechanics of that. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, we just can't. I'm just not looking at that as, oh yeah, a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. And then when you couple it with other things, I'm like, hold up, man. I ain't saying anything crazy about Meek Mill except these niggas is twinning when they should never, ever, ever be twinning. And that opens it up for
y'all ain't even a group.
A group?
It's not like
even groups.
Y'all didn't do it for like a song or like a video or like a performance. Y'all just
me and you gonna kill them at the club tonight when we both walk through the VIP wearing the exact same shit
as men. That is wild.
That's wild, man. Like, yo, we are a team. This is our uniform.
You went to the store, got what you liked, and bought extra for me. Hey, man, I got you something.
How you know my size? We're going to the house. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? What are we?
Yo, that's a good point. How do you know my size, bro?
What are we doing, bro?
There's no good answer for that because did you give him your size for what?
No, I'm saying you look like a 36, 32 playboy.
That's my size. Why are you looking at me like that, bro?
Because I know you used to do fashion, Sean John and all that. So you say you got eye up niggas measurements?
I can believe that.
Nah,
I can believe that, but the fact that you did that is alarming.
That says something, man.
Yo, man, that nigga look like a 30. That nigga like a 32 slim.
Hey, yo.
But see, it's the diddler, so he can get like 7 of them. And it won't really matter. You know what I'm saying? You know what? I'm just gonna get all the sizes. He got me able to fit one.
He got me one.
That's how committed he is to that outfit. He gonna wear this.
Frey said it's like the crocodile outfit.
Hey yo, bro.
Hey, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like, nah, you look like a 32 slim playboy, and I mean slim.
Wrong on so many levels.
Yeah,
man.
It is, man. Shout out to Markel on the check-in, man. Shout out to Dana B on the check-in, man.
but they raided his spots though, right? And cuffed the kids and tore the crib up and everything. At that point, when they cuffed the kids up, what's going through his mind? Like, I wonder what's going through his mind.
You know what, man? I'm at the turning point now. Like, maybe what they did was egregious. It may have been a little egregious. Now, let me put this fine point on it here. To have his children locked up, some of them are even named in the indictment.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, maybe not all of his children, but I'm assuming one of the couple of his children.
I know the little waffle color one is.
So I think he was one of them that was handcuffed. So I could rightfully see him being handcuffed. But as far as the military, like they said, the over-aggression, to me it does seem over-aggressive. You ain't looking for him now.
Because he's been seen out and about.
You ain't looking for him now. And that's what I'm like, for all you did, ran up in his crib and all that kind of stuff, that's fine and dandy. I thought when you do that kind of stuff, you really got to find this fucker.
Yeah, it was Miami. He was just out of Miami with his girls, with his 2 daughters.
Yeah, they was at Top Golf.
But listen, apparently there is in a separate isolated incident, there was a dude that got arrested at an airport with drugs that was linked to him. This guy, I think he's a former Syracuse basketball player or something.
Yeah.
his quote unquote drug mule. They throwing that on what's the girl? The young joint he dating. Young Miami.
Yeah.
They throwing that on her now that she's a mule. And she's being paid handsomely for sex. Well, you can put that title on a lot of people though. Because there's large sums of money being exchanged for sex with a lot of these Hollywood concubines.
Dog, I have become familiar with an even new term or slang, what they call pink cocaine.
Well, I'm sorry. Come again?
Oh, you may be tonight years old. In the indictment, they say, I want to say Little Rod, allegedly, or I ain't going to say that's allegedly, he is alleging that the drug mule, allegedly Brandon Paul, and JT, the city girl, have been transporting something called pink cocaine. It's a new synthetic club drug that has Molly, I will say cocaine, weed, acid, all this kind of stuff in it.
Which drug?
It's got a roofie in it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's a party drug, and from what I hear, JT and Brandon Paul are the traffickers of allegedly when it comes to Diddy and the things that he's been doing at his parties and his people with his people. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Interesting. A lot going on around Sean Combs right now, man. Get your house in order, Sean Combs, because when they on you like that, man, it don't stop. It don't get any easier.
Nah, it don't. It does not.
It don't get any easier, bro. It gets worse.
Shout out to B Myers on the check-in. Yo, a lot of people seem to think that he's donezo.
Mm-hmm.
What I am saying is the things that he's accused of, they'll probably get adjudicated. What I am saying is right now, if what he did in those alleged indictments are true, they should be hawking his ass down right now. Yeah. Like, he should not be at Top Golf. He should not be partying with another alleged indictee, Stevie J, partying and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for y'all to have a coordinated running of not one, not two, but three locations, and I want to say 2-3 different time zones, to go and get whatever you thought you was going to go get, for this man to still be walking around like, did you get what you needed? Fine. I'll be at Top Golf with my daughters. Like, did you really have to go through all that? Because, I mean, if it was that serious to do all of that, I would think he needs to be behind bars right now. And I'm not trying to say he should or shouldn't be behind bars. I'm just saying, with the show of force that they made, it made it seem like, oh, we really got to find him right now. But that's surely not the case. That's surely not the case. It's like, well, maybe it is a little excessive. Like, why'd you do all this? And he just out chilling. You could just knocked on his door of these places, right?
Well, moving on. This past week, we had a lot of people's nightmares come true. For all you people that are terrified of bridges, your nightmare came true in the form of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Now, what I might want to add here is that people think bridges are simply going to fall when this didn't fall. This was collided into. Right. So we're talking totally different, circumstance. This wasn't a faulty bridge like it, A cargo ship rammed into Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge, causing the span to collapse and presumably killing 6 construction workers on Wednesday. A day after the early morning crash, officials with the National Transportation Safety Board boarded the ship and plan to recover information from its electronics and paperwork while divers search for the bodies of workers who were still missing. The operators of the Dali cargo ship issued a mayday call moments before the crash, early Tuesday morning, saying the vessel had lost power. But the 985-foot-long ship still struck one of the 1.6-mile bridge's supports at 8 knots, which is roughly 9 miles per hour. That caused the span to break and fall into the water within seconds. 8 construction workers were filling potholes on the bridge when the crash happened. 2 were rescued soon after the collapse. Divers recovered the bodies of 2 others, and the other 4 are presumed dead.
Ouch. You never think, man, when you getting up in the morning, or I would say you get up at night, you go to work, and you work in dangerous situations all over the place, but you never think that I'm going to go up here and this catastrophic, extraordinary shit happens tonight. And it's so unfortunate for those, I want to say 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure however many construction workers that was up there, but so unfortunate. You just up there, and people already have their trepidations about being up on such heights and all that kind of stuff. So to be those people who took that job on, to be up that high, fixing up stuff, to have that happen to you, oh man, it turns my stomach, man. You know, just to see the footage of the boat hitting the bridge, and then it just breaking. Did you see how it kind of crumbled though?
That thing came out like a matchbook bridge. But it's crazy because, like, when you think about it and put it into numbers, you got a better chance of winning like the Powerball than that happening. Like now let me you got a better, let me split this up. You got a better chance of hitting the Powerball than a bridge falling, let alone being collided into and falling. So you got 2 separate things. Something hitting the bridge and a bridge falling. You still got a better chance of hitting the Powerball than that happening.
Yeah, and shout out to the good brother, Coach Mike Kellum on the check-in. I know that's his area down there, man. We were sending out our heart to the Baltimore Key Bridge family members who are affected by that, man. That was terrible, man. I know that's your section, man. Hold your head for your people down there, Coach Mike Kellum, man. Nah, Frazier, I didn't see the underneath per se. I saw like the boat going up and showing the wreckage. I guess the Army Corps of Engineers, man, they got a task in front of them, man. They gotta take a bridge off of a container ship. It's gonna be a lot going on, man. You just don't prepare. How do you prepare yourself for a cargo liner hitting a bridge? You don't. You can't. That's
not supposed to happen. But think about this though.
Do we got some conspiracy? I'm not going. Good brother Dean Williams, neighbor saying, is this an accident or deliberately a trial run?
No,
that's what we see here.
I don't know. That's a hell of a question to ask.
Yes, that is.
That's interesting.
I will say this. I ain't gonna say how old we are, but man, you both older than that bridge, and that bridge look rickety. It just like Biden, man, send them some money for some infrastructure, man. They should have been pent that up a little bit better, man. That bridge it shouldn't, engineerically wise, it should not have broken up like that anyway. But it wasn't prepared to get hit like that, because I'm pretty sure bridges aren't made to just kind of fold up and collapse like that one did. But I know it wasn't prepared to get hit where it got hit at.
The boat lost power, so it was literally floating towards the bridge.
Right.
I guess my question was, why didn't the workers on the bridge, somebody get word to them? If there was already a distress call that the boat had lost power, why didn't someone get the proper notification to the people on that bridge to be like, yo, we got to evacuate the bridge because it's coming towards the boat is coming towards the bridge?
I think a lot of people weren't it wasn't a lot of people on the bridge except the construction workers. And you can't really, it was hard for you to get something to them. from what I'm hearing, they may have been up high, climbed up on something high. So you probably actually had to run down there, like drive down there, get out your car. Hey, get down, when you actually stopping people from being on the bridge. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you stopping people from being on the bridge in the car. They're up climbing whatever they're on. It is odd, but I'm saying, like, how do you get word to them if they're working? I mean, everybody else got word. I'm assuming there should be some checks and balances in place for them to also have some type of emergency.
I did not know that there was an Obama movie on Netflix. Somebody just said that we watched the Obama movie. Good looking out. I did not know that there was an Obama movie on Netflix. Interesting. Got to check that out. Learn something new every day.
They said
Appreciate that nugget.
If this was New York, this would have been catastrophic.
Yeah, it would have been catastrophic. Absolutely. So listen, moving on. Did you see the story about the guy that was paralyzed after the police arrest?
Yes. Yo, speak on it, bro.
So a federal lawsuit has been filed against the St. Petersburg Police Department, alleging officers used brutality in their treatment of a homeless man who was injured while being transported to jail. The complaint was filed at the U.S. District Courthouse in Tampa Monday morning. The lawsuit alleges that two officers violated Heriberto Sanchez Mayan's civil rights when they arrested him without cause and took him to jail for a non-criminal infraction that would normally result in a citation. Now, he was arrested for quote-unquote trespassing after he was found asleep in a vacant lot. The federal complaint stems from a June 8, 2023 incident in which Officer Sarah Gaddis spotted Sanchez sleeping on a piece of cardboard in a vacant lot. Her body camera footage shows she approached and awakened him. Asked, what is he doing? Said he fell asleep. Gaddis then pointed to a sign that says no trespassing at the entrance of the lot. He says, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see it. Now, records show Sanchez, who was homeless, had a history of alcoholism, received more than 24 previous citations. These were for things like having an open container, sleeping in public places, public urination. He says, you going to write me a ticket? She says, no, you're going to take a ride today. I've decided that you're actually going to go to jail today. Rather than being given a ticket to appear, which is, the custom and the practice and what should have been done, he was illegally arrested for the sole purpose of teaching him a lesson, said attorney Thomas Shalaro, who was representing Sanchez in the lawsuit. He says the body camera footage shows officers were upset at his client. You get tickets all the time. You don't care. You don't change your ways, Gaddis said. I think after a certain many, it should be a felony after a certain many, said the St. Petersburg police officer. He arrived in a transport van to pick up Sanchez and transport him to the Pinellas County Jail. A certain amount of any crime, it should be a felony, Thacker said. A year in jail might solve the problem. They belly chained this man so he couldn't protect himself or move his hands and arms, and they took him for a ride. During the ride, Sanchez falls out of the seat. Sanchez's attorneys allege what happened was not an accident. This is pretty wild. One sec here.
That's a shame, man. I swear this reeks of Freddie Gray. I swear this reeks of Freddie Gray, man. You're going to learn today in law enforcement taking into their hands again, being the judge and the jury, which they are not. Nobody's asking you to do anything except, I guess, unfairly lock the man up because and do it the right way, because at least he would be here to sue you now, with all his limbs intact. This is ludicrous for you to be out here thinking that you know better than the lawmakers and the judges, and I'm going to put you in the back seat, and I'm going to teach you better than they can, and I'm going to give you all this violence and all this hate and damage you so crazily that you will learn a lesson to not be homeless.
So here's what happens here. During the ride, the officer deliberately stopped short throwing Mr. Sanchez into the bulkhead where he fractured and broke his neck. Sanchez's attorney says the van driver didn't stop or help before he arrived at the jail. He's unconscious, Thacker said when he opened the van door and found Sanchez on the ground. Wake up, wake up. They tried to revive him. They literally pulled him out by his ankles where his head could be seen bobbing off the floor and bobbing on the door and bobbing on the bumper, ultimately hitting the pavement. Sanchez is now paralyzed. After his injuries, both legs had to be amputated. He receives round-the-clock care at a nursing home. That is his sentence now for simply sleeping in a public lot, they said. They sure taught him a lesson. St. Petersburg Department released a statement saying the St. Petersburg Police Department denies the claims and trusts in the judicial process.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible, man. I don't know. To get locked up and thrown in the back of a cop van and to have your neck broken and to have two legs amputated, all for being homeless?
That's rough, man.
For being homeless. I hope they sue the shit out of that person individually. That cop, I hope you go to jail some type of way. Man, they got the blue shield and they got different things that they can hide behind, but that is definitely not procedural. I hope you get whatever is coming to you and fast. Whatever cop that was, Mendoza or whatever your name was. Hope you get whatever is coming to you and fast. That gentleman did not deserve any of what you had given him that night.
He was already homeless, though. You know, like, why are you taking a homeless guy to jail?
Because you want to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It was easy pickings. You could pick up a homeless person. If you didn't do that to them, they probably don't get hurt that bad. So they probably don't speak as loud. And it probably doesn't, those cries fall on deaf ears. If it doesn't go this far, you've probably done it before. And like I've always said, those things, as bad as we like to think the cops, they one way or whatever, but those things aren't taught in the academy. You come in the academy with those biases.
Yeah.
They don't tell you to do this to homeless people or anybody that you happen to apprehend. You brought that with you. Terrible, man. That's terrible.
Well, just another in a long line of ridiculously abusive tactics. But I digress. Moving on. I got a question for you, right?
I'm listening.
The BBL craze is crazy, I think it's plateaued a little bit. I want to lump that in with, a lot of the cosmetic procedures, women are doing to enhance their bodies, right? Are we to blame for that?
We as
men.
No.
No.
Short answer is no. We're not to blame.
Because some would say, this is men's fault and this is what we glorify. So they're only trying to look and be in the image that they think that, we glorify.
I would say that is false. I have talked to a lot of females and I've asked them some things about cosmetic surgery or corrective surgery or rhinoplasty, whatever you want to call it. And almost to a woman, they have assured me that we do none of this or just about all of it except a little bit with men in mind at all. When we get BBLs, we get them because we think we're going to look better with the BBL. Not we think a man thinks we're going to look better. We don't care. If we get a mommy snatchback, we're not getting it for the man. They're getting it because they want their body, their confidence, their perspective back, or somewhat that they used to have before they had children. That has nothing to do with men except for the fact you got them pregnant. They're not running around here wearing high heels, long eyelashes, makeup, doing these fine designs in their hair, wearing all these clothes to impress men. All of these women, I would say to a woman, say, I think I'm going to look better, feel better, do better, be better if I get these things done for myself, to myself. I am totally against saying that women think that men want that for them, and that's why they get BBLs. I am not for that. I do not agree, Coach. I don't agree. What you think?
I mean, I don't think that they're doing it for themselves. I'm not going to. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't think that it's 100% being done for themselves.
Okay.
So, we gotta break this down into, two sets of women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have individuals in an entertainment field, whether it be dancer, escort,
Mm-hmm.
musician, actor, actress, and there is something to be said about them enhancing themselves to enhance their possible earnings, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that sector, I would believe, could possibly be doing it for themselves, but they also could be doing it for men because they're trying to enhance their look so that it generates more dollars for them. And the only way you're going to generate the money is that if the opposite sex buys in, and a bigger, you go to the thought of bigger is better, right? That's that phrase was made for a reason. Bigger is better. I'm not necessarily sure it applies here. The butt craze is a butt craze where a larger. I think the problem is that if you're just going for bigger, it can also make you look weird.
Yeah, it can make you look misshapen. Misshapen.
And now you've done that, right? Yes, you've achieved the goal. It's bigger, but it in turn has now thrown off everything else.
Geometrics.
Yeah, geometrically, it's just terrible.
Well, see, those are some of the things that I'm saying. Speaking to some women, they were like, we ain't looking at it like that. We're not going out here and trying to get, purposely bad BBL jobs. But I'm damn sure not going out here thinking that's going to happen wrong. And when it happens and when it look right, I'm going to be the shit. Not saying for a dude, not saying for another woman. When I walk past the mirror and I see my ass clapping, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's the bitch that was inside of me that I now see outside of me.
And that's the second sort of woman that I wanted to talk about. One that is not in the entertainment industry or any sort of entertainment capacity. That's just an everyday person, and they get it done for vanity reasons or self-conscious reasons, because I've had a flatty patty and now I got a dunk. But is it, I got a flatty patty and I want the attention that this chick with the dunk got, and I know she didn't get it. I know she bought it, so I'm gonna buy it too. Because you're looking at the attention she's getting, and the attention is from who? Male. From the opposite sex. So I mean, when we start to glorify, natural, and it's not that we did not like natural.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have advantage, but that's life, though. Some people have advantages, some people don't.
Well, there's a lot of people getting BBLs and a lot of corrective surgery and different things of that nature. But I challenge you to ask a lot of these women, like, the first thing in their mind wouldn't be, okay, I'm getting this BBL or I'm getting these breasts because I'm trying to impress men. A lot of them are going to say, no, I thought my titties was saggy and I wanted to lift. You know what I'm saying? If you happen to like it, feel free. But when I looked at my titties that was almost in my pockets, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I didn't feel like I wanted to see that no more. I could give a damn about a dude. Because what a lot of females found out, they'd be like, well, I knew I wasn't doing it for dudes. And what I found out is dudes ain't asking us. Well, it's not a lot of dudes asking us for BBLs or big titties or get a vagina snap back or get a mommy redo. A lot of dudes ain't asking for that. Those things happen unprompted for men. So that's what I'm saying. That just leads me even more to believe that women are doing this for women. They're not doing this for men. Like, oh, I'm gonna get these titties. Now, we know there's going to be residual. Hey, you just went from a 22 to a 38. I'm going to recognize, I'm going to see, like, damn, hey, baby. Now you may get the attention and may not like it because then bigger titty, like I said, bigger is better. Now you got attention. You got guys gawking at you all the time, like, damn, now I got a sweater over my titties. Do you like them? Yeah, but I don't like the attention you get from them. So that part I don't really see a lot of women doing. They don't be covering up the ladies. They don't be covering up their asses because they say, I like my ass. I like my titties.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm showing it off. I don't really give a fuck about what you think about my ass and my titties. But if you like it, feel free. So I would say no on that, good brother. I would say the nay no. Say the nay no, my brother.
It's just funny, man, because I just remember, all natural and, there's something to be said about, women coming in all shapes and sizes. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have to be thick. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody don't have to be thick, man.
But you see a lot of women want to be.
Yeah, they want to be. I want to be 6'6". I'm just not. I'm just not.
You can get you a donk though. You can get you a badonkadonk.
I mean, I can get rods put in my legs to be 6'6". I just don't want to. It's not that important. You know what I mean?
Knees then.
Yeah. Show up with this motherfucker. You gotta change the camera angle. I get tall as shit. They got a growth spurt at 48.
You just center back today. Got a growth spurt.
6'6" for no reason at all. Just to sit in the chair and shit and push buttons.
Right.
And process claims and shit. It's useless. The hell? The dumbest shit in the world. But I digress, man. I digress. This is funny. I digress. Let's move on to some sports, good brother. Let's move on to some sports. Got a lot going on, man. A lot going on. A lot. Shout out to B Matt. Final Four set.
Yes, it is.
Final Four set in men's basketball. Shout out to the Alabama Crimson Tide, UConn Huskies, Purdue Boilermakers, and North Carolina State Wolfpack. We have a Final Four set. I think it's indicative of the season in terms of how this played out, because this was a unpredictable season aside from, let's say, UConn. You know, I knew that the Final Four would look weird just because of how much parity outside of UConn. And, you know, Purdue pretty much held it down all year. But to have half the field look like it looks with Alabama and North Carolina State, that's fitting. It's fitting. You know, it's fitting. I think what will happen here is I think it's going to be two bludgeonings on the way to the final game, which to me would be UConn and Purdue, and how fitting that, you know, the one person who can negate UConn's big would be Zach Edey. You know, that will be, you know, that storyline in itself to me, that those two teams play in the championship. I hope that's the matchup, because I think that's the only matchup that can push UConn.
True. Right. Yeah, that's the only matchup left that can give UConn any type of.
And I hate UConn, by the way. I truly hate UConn. UConn has stood in the way of 3 national titles for my team. I truly hate UConn. They're directly responsible for costing us 2 national titles. But I digress.
I love that they Big East still.
My guys had a decent season. I didn't expect this team to get this far. Considering how the roster was constructed, you know.
Who are you guys?
Everybody knows, man. Duke Blue Devils, man. We lost today. You know, I know a lot of y'all happy. You know, it's cool. It's cool. It's nice that we still have that effect on people. You know, that they're extremely happy when we lose. You know, and their teams have gone home a long time ago. You know, that kind of thing. We got a lot. We own a lot of real estate in people's heads, though. You know, I love that. But you know, this is a flawed team. Good season by Shire. You know, on to next year, I'm expecting a lot of transfers, some graduations. You know, got to clear some of this roster space, and get a more well-constructed team in there, a team capable of actually winning that thing. And we'll see where this goes, man. We'll see where this goes. But this should be UConn and Purdue in the finals. It should be.
It should be.
Should be. But
games ain't played on paper.
I've seen stranger things happen, you know. I've seen stranger things happen. But on the other side of the ball, holy mackerel.
Shout out to Lauren Michaels on the check-in.
Boy, do we have some shit going down Monday on the girls' side. Woo, man.
You got Juju playing against
Buckets, Page Buckets.
You got the rematch of colossal, epic, titanic proportions. The reigning defending champions, the LSU Lady Fighting Tigers, going to get up against that strong Caitlin Clark,
the female Steph Curry. Listen, and here's the thing, man, that that gets lost in a lot of the Caitlin Clark hype. She's literally top 10 all time in assists in women's college basketball history.
Know that.
Think about that. Think about that.
She's number 1 in points and top 10 in assists.
Yeah, man.
If I'm not mistaken, she's only a junior, so she could obliterate. I mean, she could obliterate.
I think she's a senior.
Well, okay.
I think she's a senior. Hold on, let's check.
Nah, because I'm saying she declared for the NBA WNBA draft.
I think that means that's what I'm doing. I'm playing because they can go overseas. She said, "Put my name in the hat."
That's fair.
It's not. We all know when somebody we know what it means when you declare
Yeah, that's fair.
in men's college basketball, because
I want to say something to a lot of people out there who says that Caitlin Clark isn't great, and I say, man, that's bullshit. Caitlin Clark is all-time great, not just great, but all-time great. For the fact that she hasn't won a national championship, that's fucked up. But you cannot, shan't not downplay all of the moments.
she's seen.
All of the moments that she has had, all of the records that she's torn down, all of the legacy, all of the spotlight that she has put on Purdue women's basketball. That is great. For one person to do that, you can't name another Purdue ladies basketball player, and I'm talking about
Iowa.
this year, ever in history.
Iowa.
Excuse me, Iowa. I keep saying Purdue, Iowa. Besides Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has been offered $5 million to play in the men's Big Three owned by Ice Cube.
Hogwash.
I say go for it. Because I think that you can at least shoot as good as you was shooting in the NCAAs right now. They ain't playing a lot of defense in male basketball. They're a little bit stronger than you. But for $5 million, I take that. I go ahead and come back at the end of the WNBA season, get that $175,000.
She's gonna make that money anyway. I wouldn't do it, because what that does is, I mean, I now understand from Ice Cube's perspective. He's trying to draw viewers and it's a spectacle.
Yeah.
But she's gonna make that money anyway, though. She's of the very, very upper echelon in terms of name recognition in women's basketball. The funny thing about it is the college women are more household names than the WNBA players.
Yeah.
Because of what we have tomorrow night. Juju Watkins is the face of women's basketball next year moving forward.
Possibly.
Moving forward. She is the face. She is generational right now in terms of, now mind you, she's not small either.
Nah.
And neither is Caitlin, for that. Caitlin's 6 feet tall. So we're not talking about a small, like a short player. She's 6 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Juju is just different from a physical perspective, man. She's athletic. She's strong. She's shifty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talent-wise, she's the best player in college. She's not the player of the year, though, but talent-wise, she's the best player in college basketball. I don't think any player from a talent perspective is as good as she is. She has a unique skill set with a God-given frame, and she's just hell on wheels. Tomorrow is a big day for women's basketball, man.
It is.
I mean, you're talking about marquee names across you can't ask for anything better than this. Like, if you wrote a script for how you want this to play out as far as women's college basketball, here's like the crescendo of the book. Like, it's this.
Yes.
This kind of Monday night marquee sort of blockbuster, not one game, but two games. of this caliber.
Right.
Man, you can't. That's crazy.
And it really ensures that even going further, because you already got South Carolina on the other side, and it's what, Texas?
Who won that game? Was it did Texas win that game?
That's what I said. I think it was. No, Iowa. Well, I'm not sure. I just
let's check.
Yeah, South Carolina. They look rough and tough, man, but I can't say that they're head and shoulders above. Yeah, they're head and shoulders above all the women teams out there, but I would not be surprised. If
NC State and South Carolina. NC State, South Carolina is already there, and we got the two games to determine.
I would not be surprised if any of the four teams left knocked
Shout
them
out
off.
to NC State, man. Both men and women's teams making it to the Final Four. That's awesome.
Well, the only team that I think would not beat them is the team that they playing next week, and that's NC State. I think that LSU has a good chance to beat them. Probably won't. I think that Iowa has a good chance to beat them, but probably won't. I think that USC will have a good chance to beat them, probably wouldn't. And I think UConn would have a good chance to beat them, but probably wouldn't. I think NC State has the least chance to beat South Carolina.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to NC State though, man. Big run for that. Big year for that program. The only other program that I would think is doing that sort of thing is UConn, because they got the girls and men right now as we speak. That's typical for them. You know what I mean? That's typical for UConn to have both boys and girls programs. Doing big things like that. But that's big for NC State. Historic run for them. Impressive, man. Very, very, very impressive. It's been a very, very good tournament, man, as for the men, as far as making you watch, because there's no runaway number one team aside from UConn. The rest of the field has been pretty, it's UConn, then you got Purdue, and then everybody else. So it was bound to be explosive and have a lot of ups and downs and upsets. And so this played out exactly how you thought it would.
Was there a team that disappointed you?
No, not really, because everybody could be had. I mean, a lot of people would say North Carolina.
You know what, man? They stopped disappointing me. I just don't expect as much out of them as others did.
I mean, it's been
but there's a team that I proverbially every year I would like to throw a cold blanket on the way they play, their style of ball, and why everybody around their program seems to think that slowing the game up to almost a standstill makes you a better team than anybody else. And that's the Virginia goddamn Cavaliers. I'm tired of seeing this nonsense from these guys thinking that we're going to proverbially walk the ball up every time up the court, make these passive passes, deliberately pass up open shots.
It won a national championship, though, as crazy as that sounds.
That's what I'm saying. I hate that they have that fact, that they have a national championship win like that, because they have more early exits. They have way more early exits, but you got a championship. So it's like, all this NIT work and first round work. Get knocked out as the 1 seed.
Yeah, 1 or 2 seed.
They was the first 1 seed to get knocked out by a 16, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, it happens consistently to them.
This is what I'm saying. I wish they'd have never had that championship on them, because I would really dump on that bullshit style of play that they have.
It's still a bullshit style of play. It just so happened that they won a championship off of that, which was, it seems like that's the outlier though. Like typically what it looks like is, if you're not offensively challenged, you could beat them. And 9 times out of 10, they run into one of these lower seeds. And they don't even, it's not even that they have a hot shooting night. They're just able to score.
Right. Like, this slow down shit don't mean nothing. We can still score. Y'all might run the clock down to 29.9 and shoot up a shot.
I mean, it's predicated on defense. I'm just like, what you recruiting? Like, I'm not going there if I'm a kid, man. I'm just not going there.
This can't be any fun, man.
Yeah, I'm not going there. So you mean to tell me it's not just the personnel, it's just how you play? Oh, never mind, man. Just don't even recruit me. Nah, I'm thinking now at first I thought it was more or less, okay, the personnel is dictating that this is how you play. No, this is, you like this, coach. This is your cup of tea. This is how you like to play like this.
And if without that championship, Tony Bennett's not even there right now. He's fired.
Well,
he's fired. These are some real early and ugly exits, man.
Well, death, taxes, and Virginia getting put out early is.
That's what I'm saying. Without that championship, man, between, I don't know who's went further off one championship, you or Tom Izzo,
or Calipari.
Gotta throw. Since we there, let's throw his name in the hat. Calipari. Now, some people will say, well, he didn't have his usual team this year. I'm like, okay, he didn't have his usual 7 McDonald's All-Americans. He only had 5, I guess. Dog, he had one thing that I thought was off. I was like, oh, it has to be more or less, I ain't gonna say more or less the players, but DJ Wagner. I heard a lot about him high school AAU wise. I heard almost nothing from him at Kentucky. McDonald's All-American. I don't know, averaged about 11 points.
I don't think it was 11. I didn't think it was 11. It might have been single digits. Let me see. Let me check.
I just want to say, are these things on Coach Cal these days? Now, I already thought like he was stretching his one championship pretty far. But are these McDonald's All-Americans built like the McDonald's All-Americans of old that we can count on and be like, okay, well, these guys should go deep into make a deep tournament run, just because
9 points a game.
Damn. I'm sorry. I gave you double digits. I gave you double digits.
For a player who was on draft boards coming into the season. They had like 4 or 5 players on the draft boards coming into the season.
So I'm the type of person to say I give some blame to the coaches. I have to give a whole lot more to the players. I'm like, man, y'all wasn't billed as advertised. But Coach Calipari, you always seem to get your fair share of the best guys out here. Now, if everybody has, the similar talent, it's up to you now to be the difference maker in this. And I got to give you your blame too, Coach Calipari.
I mean, he's shown that he can't. I mean, let's call a spade, man. I mean, the treasure chest is full every single year. I mean, it may underperform, but it's full. This is your style. Recruiting these basketball players like that.
Yeah.
So if they don't play well, they have nothing else to lean on because obviously you can't X and O your way through their youth. Every tournament that you play in now, unfortunately, because of NIL, these other teams that you're going to be facing, they're not comprised the way you're comprised. The transfer portal is making guys stick around longer for immediate opportunities. NIL money's guys sticking around longer because you got some guys who are, maybe a guy says, you know what? He's not a superstar, but he's not a bum, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not a guy that can just go to the league. So I'll just stick around.
Right.
And make some money. Because I don't want to go overseas, So you got some guys that are 5th-year seniors and some guys with like medical red shirts. They'll play a 5th and a 6th year somewhere else and make some money.
Yep.
Because they're not interested in going overseas. They're going to make more in NIL money at one of these schools. Because now what's starting to happen is you're having some of the bigger schools take some of these transfers, these older transfers, because Cal, you playing with kids. There was a guy in North Carolina who was 26 years old.
Hey, hold on.
26 years old.
Their team was old, and they lost.
Their team's average age was older than the Thunder.
Oklahoma City Thunder, the starting lineup was younger than North Carolina Tar Heels, and they lost. Like Bacardi, I know it's Baycott, but Bacardi, he's been around since the days of the dinosaur. You 24, 25 years old. Do you understand that you are looked at as not just a 24-year-old playing basketball, but all the 24-year-olds who play basketball in the world on all levels? Now, I'm pretty sure it's 24-year-olds in the NBA, you know what I'm saying, it's been there for 2 or 3 years. Dog, you should really be dominating college. If you ever think that you're going to have some type of NBA status, you're 24, 25 years old. That's Anthony Edwards' age, ain't it? Or he's not even.
Bro, he's older than Jason Tatum, I think. Hold on, let me see. Because Jason Tatum is only 26.
Jason Tatum.
He's there. He's almost older than Jason. He's almost older than Jason Tatum.
I can believe that. And that's what I'm saying, Jason.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me check.
If you come in as a rookie at your age at 25 or 26, and Jason Tatum is 25, 26, there is no equal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are not saying you're already a bum, but dog, we have shown that you are.
Yeah, he's 26. Jason Tatum's 26. So Cormac Ryan is Jason Tatum's age.
Y'all should be dominating. You're grown men. You're grown men. Grown men. 26 years old. Come on. And you've been out here for years. Some people have been to 2-3 different schools. So
Armando Bacot's 24 years old.
Come on, man. He's older than several
NBA superstars.
Several.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But I digress. Moving on to some NBA action here, man. I wanted to mention something about a guy that's flying under the radar. Team is in 4th place in the East. He came off of a pretty much dominant rookie season and is now pushing his team into the playoffs. No media coverage, no media love, no nothing. Paolo Banchero. Orlando, y'all got to do a better job. Why is this guy not out there more?
It's Orlando. It's Orlando.
It's
really.
Orlando.
It's Orlando. I mean, first and foremost, it's Orlando, man. It's not a lot of people know too much about Orlando players ever since Dwight Howard left. You feel what I'm saying? So people are just starting to realize, oh, Orlando's good again? You know what I'm saying? Orlando's good again. And the next step is learning, well, who are the guys on the team? Because I'm pretty sure people who would think that Orlando Magic was good again, they wouldn't know anything about the Wagner brothers. They wouldn't know too much about Suggs, Jalen Suggs, Jared Suggs, they still wouldn't know that there's a guy on the team that's been around almost since the days of the dinosaur. You like, Markelle Fultz is still on the team?
Yeah.
Right, so they wouldn't know this.
And actually playing well, too. That's the crazy part.
Right. They wouldn't know this. But I'm not mad at Paolo Banchero. I'm not mad at the Orlando Magic. And I happen to agree with you. They are not getting nowhere near the amount of love that they should be getting. The Magic or Paolo.
Shout out to Victor Wembanyama. Another monster game the other day, a 40-20 game. Have you changed your mind about Victor?
Somewhat. He's pretty good. I would say the person I changed my mind more about is Chet. I think Chet. I didn't think Chet was going to be this good. Offensively, I thought he could. I thought they both could have been pretty good on defense, but I didn't think Chet was going to be this good on offense. And I think if asked to do what Wembanyama is asked to do, he probably could do it. So I'm impressed by both the young guys. Like I said, I've changed my mind even more on Chet than I have on Wemby because I thought he was going to be okay.
I called that one though.
Yes, you did. A lot of people called it, but I'm the type of person I got to see it first though.
Yeah, I called the Chet. I said I'm a Chet fan. I thought Chet had a lot of moxie with him, and I said, you know what? Chet got a motor, man. And I said, worst case scenario, Chet would be. I actually, what was the numbers I said? I said something like 12-10 or something like that. I forget. I'll go back in the past broadcast, but I said something like 12-10.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because on that team, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good on that team. But he's actually been
pretty good.
He's actually been a
integral piece.
Yeah, integral piece.
Yeah.
Obviously on the defensive end, but his ability to stretch the floor and actually be able to finish at the rim.
That's the part that probably made me change my mind the most. Like, oh, I didn't think he was, not saying he couldn't do it. I just like, he's not going to be able to do that. Oh, he's doing that.
Oh, he's doing it.
He's doing
emphatically.
He's doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at the Oklahoma City Thunder, man. I mean, someone who I always loved his game, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I wish the Sixers would have traded for him when we had Ben Simmons out on the market, but I digress. But they have a young man by the name of Jalen Williams. Well, they got two Jalen Williams.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But the one with the braids, he's a revelation out of nowhere.
Yeah,
a lot of people thought, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people knew about Lou Dort, the defensive guy. You knew about Shai Alexander, the all-around guy. We didn't know what Chet was, but everybody thought Chet was going to, be a contributor. I don't think anyone knew what they was going to get out of Jalen Williams. And he is the X factor on that team. And I'm like, I almost made a way too early prediction on playoffs, but we get around to that. Almost made a way too early prediction, but I think, you know what? I feel strong about saying I know the two teams that I know right now going to be in the Western Conference Finals. Denver Nuggets, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's my Western Conference Finals.
And also, man, I want to put this out there because people wrote him off, of course, and came back with a vengeance. A lot of people, they had the food jokes and
I know where you're going with this.
Quietly, Zion Williamson has, yeah. You
don't tend to hear as much when you just out there balling.
Yeah,
and shit.
When you're out there hooping, you
ain't get nobody pregnant. You ain't wearing whack clothes. You just out this motherfucker ball.
Yeah, you go out there and ball, kind of take care of itself.
Yeah, man.
Got a lot of bad things to say about that man, but not much talking now. Not much talking going on now.
What you gonna say now?
Wrote him off, but he ain't right back.
I want to take a turn, man. I want to talk about something that's disturbing.
What's that?
Draymond Green.
Draymond is disturbing, period, bro. But
something wrong with this nigga, man.
Something wrong with him.
And we all know, man, once your production is past the point that we need to put up with your shenanigans.
It's almost like he's deliberately trying to sabotage him, man. Like, is this purposefully done? Like, it looks like it.
It's hard to say it ain't. Like, for you to be doing the stuff that he's doing, man, it's like, you do know you're not in the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Like, y'all fighting for your playing lives, and you just can't chill.
That is ultra selfish.
He know he on his way out the door though, and that's what gives me more sabotage vibes.
Is he on his way out the door?
I think so.
I thought he just signed like an extension with them. So unless they trade him, he's going to be on their team for a couple of years.
I can't have that.
So, and this is what I'm saying. I'm like, we're at the end of our rope. It looked like Steph Curry, bless your heart. Man, you look like you shed a tear. Like, I can't keep going through this.
Draymond Green is aging Steph Curry in dog years right now.
Gray hairs popping up.
Because you when you look at Steph now, you thinking to yourself like, damn, Steph is getting up there. And that window, with Clay, of course, taking a couple steps backwards in terms of his ability to affect the game. The youngsters not necessarily develop in the way that, think about this though. This is a team that had the number one pick and picked Wiseman, and he turned out to be horseshit.
Man, look, sometimes people do things for the approval of others. You couldn't go wrong picking James Wiseman on paper.
No, you couldn't. You had to. You actually had
right,
to.
You had to. And it seemed like too good to be true. It was like, we need a big man. We need to get younger. He has skill. Why doesn't that equate right here, right now? And
well, I'll tell you why before you go on. Because I stick a pin in that. It's just not the way the game is played now. It's just not. There's only 2 to 3 big men in the league, but they're so good that their teams are forced to play a different way. He wasn't that good
at all
to force the Warriors, who is probably the embodiment of this era of basketball.
I don't care what you say. Every big man out there shoots the ball. Now, whether it goes in or not, that's yet to be determined. But every big man out there shoots the ball, and it was more like James Wiseman was a rim runner, open floor guy, athleticism, which you're going to need, but that's more or less used on the defensive end. Your offensive end, like, if you that type of big man, we know exactly what you're going to be doing, picking and popping, rim running at it from a closer distance, and you will be spacing the floor. If you can't shoot, you won't be on the floor because they won't be able to space the floor with you. James Wiseman, you run up and down the floor, you clocking up the middle. We run a very fluid scheme and offense around here. We would like for you to pack your bags. We've got you a couple plane tickets. You will now be playing in Detroit. And now he plays in somewhere else. And it's just like, if they knew better at the time, they could have did much, much better than James Wiseman. But it's so funny. He was exactly what they needed. Mm-hmm. Exactly what they needed. Yeah. But he was just a bum.
Yeah, he just wasn't good. I mean, he just wasn't good at all.
I believe that as well. If Draymond doesn't punch Poole, Golden State is a different team. I am.
Well, yeah, y'all said that.
I'm 100% behind that, man. You know, I actually think that Poole's still on the team, and they don't really have the problems that they have right now. If Poole is still on the team and he doesn't get clocked by Draymond, I think he probably still on the team, and maybe somebody else is probably on the team because he was the guy who provided scoring. You got Chris Paul on the team. I'm pretty sure Chris Paul wouldn't have been on the team. They would have had another piece that could have been complimentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, when you punch on people, man.
That punch destroyed the franchise.
Destroyed the franchise? I think that's destroyed the franchise?
Well, they're not going to recover from that because just like we just said, they had a number 1 draft. You're not going to draft number 1 at all. That's not going to happen. You're going to be in that range of what? Well, if you don't make the playoff, well, but you're going to get the 10th pick, 10th, 12th, 13th pick. I mean, I don't see anybody in college at the 10th, 12th, 13th pick that's going to change that team to the magnitude. Now, they can make some moves a la trading
that pick,
Clay and Draymond to a team that, thinks that they could be like a final piece for a younger team. I don't know. It's not much that they can do to make that jump from where they are back to, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 positions, because the teams that are above them, they ain't relinquishing that.
True.
Minnesota ain't going nowhere. Oklahoma City ain't going nowhere. Denver ain't going nowhere. As much as we hate and despise the Clippers as far as ineptitude, that team's you're not leapfrogging them. You ain't leapfrogging Dallas. And you got teams coming up under you that are probably going to make a jump next year.
You got, well, Truth be told, man, they was in the playing last year, so their decline. Their decline is this is who you are right now. With the team you got, that's who you are. Golden State, you are.
It was set though. But you got to remember, they're only 2 years removed from a championship. Let's think about that.
Mm-hmm. Last year they were doing pretty good, and then they had a key injury, and that kind of fucked them up. But then this year they've been up and down, and they just been who they were. And I didn't see them making any type of deep run, but I'm like, Draymond, you're not making it any fucking easier.
He's a moron.
He's a maniac.
He's a moron, man.
Yeah,
let's close it off with this. I'll ask you a question. Your MVP. Who's your MVP right now? Who's your MVP? That's a weird one. I mean, you can always go with the safe bet. His team's in like second or third place, I think. And Jokic is always a safe,
Yeah, he probably will get his third MVP this year if they keep doing what they're doing. He's playing like he's playing. But give me a guy who I mentioned earlier. He's been in the talks of it, and I mean he may not get it, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Mm-hmm. Give me him. You know what I'm saying?
I think you could put him and Ant-Man in the same category. As far as I don't think the league wants them to be the MVP, but I don't think the league wants that. Yeah. Jason Tatum won't get it, only because the individual stats. It's now looking like Boston is more of a complete team in terms of their dominance. I think he's definitely a perennial MVP candidate from here on. I know who else will never win it. Well, not never, but I'm not gonna say never. But Luka Doncic is never going to finish high enough to win an MVP. He's just not. The team's not going to win enough games for him to win MVP. If he wins MVP, it'll literally be because the league wants to push that narrative. Because he is one of the best players in the league. Mm-hmm. He's a NBA a mega star. Mm-hmm. But I just don't think his team will ever have the requisite number of wins for him to win MVP. And a safe bet right now. I think SGA and Ant-Man are too young. So Jokic is probably the safer bet.
Well, good brother neighbor Nave, he said Jason Tatum. I'm not adverse to that, but they always have a split on their team, and they always have like the unfortunate of having a good team. So it's like Jason Tatum is the best player on a good team, but you also have Jaylen Brown. You got one of the better defensive players individually in Drew Holiday. You have the unicorn who was the fourth option in Kristaps Porzingis. You know what I'm saying? So when people look at it like that, I think a lot of people take away from just Jason Tatum because he has the team around him.
That sentiment actually works in the opposite way, as far as him. His team is the best team in the league as far as record. Mm-hmm. He's obviously the best player on his team, but he won't get it.
Right, because everybody looks at the contributions of the players on his team like, damn. You know what I'm saying? We not saying that they are overdoing anything, but that team would not be that good without Derek White doing what he's doing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they need all these people playing good. JT's playing at an MVP caliber, but Derek White and Drew Holiday are probably the best defensive backcourt in the league, and Derek White was borderline all-star this year.
You know what sucked?
What's that?
And I've always told you I've never been a fan.
What's that?
Dame Lillard and Giannis together sucks.
You think so?
Yeah, man, it sucks. and I'll tell you why I think it sucks. Just not a fan of Dame Lillard, man. Just not a Dame Lillard fan. I've always felt that Dame Lillard, for as much as he gives you offensively, he is a sieve on the defensive end. Now, I know you like to say that defense is overrated.
Individual defense.
he's never struck me as a guy that moves the needle for you defensively at all in any way, shape, or form. He's actually, to me, he's more of a liability. I think so. That's just me. That's just me.
Well, I don't think that's too far-fetched to believe. I mean, when you trade out him for Drew Holiday, you say, okay, well, we're trading away some of our defense. And then you say, you know what? We have to go get a defensive-minded coach in here. Yeah, we are making an indictment about Dame Lillard and his defense. I would say it ain't Dame Lillard per se. Because nowadays, everybody hunts out the mismatch. It just so happens Dame Lillard probably is defending the guy who's dribbling the ball. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, I ain't got to pass the ball, come down, get a pick, or don't even get a pick. And now it's 4-on-5 because Dame's trailing. That's how it goes. They like to say, well, we can make that trade-off with Dame's offense on the other end. Me, myself, I would like to say, I don't want to break something that wasn't broke. Give me Drew Holiday and the defense that he was giving me, because pretty much nobody's going to give you that defense. I'm pretty sure somebody can give you a little bit of what Dame got you on offense.
Absolutely, man. So with that being said, man, we're going to close this thing out for the night, man.
Shout out Van Jones, Sixers fans. We in the house, baby. You know what?
We appreciate everybody rocking out with us, man. Y'all could be anywhere in the world, but you fucking with us. We appreciate any time y'all gave us tonight. We definitely love y'all. We'll be back, same bad time, same bad channel next week. Until then, any closing thoughts, bro?
Hey, man, look, man, like I said, man, I don't know if I was scrolling down the wrong pages, but I ain't seeing enough fly Easter suits, man. Let me know, man. Show us on the Fire Nights page, man. Let me know your fly Easter sets. I didn't see enough of them. I ain't saying it wasn't out there. I just didn't see them.
With that being said, man, we appreciate y'all walking with us. Till next week, Coach Fresh. We out.
Peace.
We live at the Fire Nights podcast, man, and there's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment.
These guys came from Woodland, Delaware.
Where was you from?
Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's
Listen, man, it's your boy.